I'm actually so excited that this video is finally going out. I started making this in September, finished it in October, which is when it was due by, and yeah, it took me till the end of February to sew in those ends. So I'll show you the process. I hope you like it. Hiya, welcome to the channel. I have been testing a crochet pattern for a designer and it is so stunning, but it's massive and it's taken me ages. So I'm going to show you where I've got to so far, and hopefully you like it. So this is the blanket as it is. It is pretty wide. I can't even get it all in camera. But what I have discovered is it's not going to be as long as I wanted it to be. And basically the reason for that is with blankets and DK yarn, which is what I normally always use, I normally use a 4mm crochet hook, but in the pattern design they said to go down a hook size so that you don't see the stitches behind. So the way that it's made is you do like a line of single crochet in one colour and then you double crochet over the top of it. So to stop the red showing through on the purple, they tell you to go down a hook size, which I did, but I went down to a 3mm. And I think because I've also got tight tension, that's just not, it's not going to be as long as I thought, because this is, I'm about halfway through or just over halfway through, and some of the other testers are almost like as big as a king size bed, and this is not going to be, it's as wide as a king size bed, but it's not going to be long enough for one. So I'm hoping once I've put the border on, that'll give it a bit more length as well. If worst comes to worst, at the top and the bottom I might add like a few purple lines here and then a few purple at the top if it doesn't kind of mess up the design. So we'll see what happens, we'll see if I like it, and I'll let you guys know. So I've just finished row 145, which means I've got 82 rows left until the pattern itself is finished. So the lobsters, their bodies are now complete and their legs are now complete. I just need to finish the other set of claws, and they've got a long antenna as well that need to be finished. And then there's a love heart right at the top in the middle, up here somewhere. So the pattern test ends on the 15th of October, so to get it finished in time I need to do 3 rows a day, or 3.5 rows a day from now until then, and that will get it finished on the day. So I'm trying to do about 5 rows a day, which should mean I finish about a week and a half before it's due, and then hopefully that will give me time to do the border. And the border that I'm going to do, so that I don't have to sew in all of these ends, I'm going to do like an encased border. I've never done one before, but I've seen that that is the best way to finish off a overlay mosaic crochet. So I'm going to give that a go and we'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to do about another week's worth of this, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how far I've got. Yeah, hopefully I'll only have about 40 rows to go then, but we'll see. So I'm 82 rows in, which means I think I've got about 45 rows left to go. I've finished the second set of claws, and there's like a love heart starting to form here, and then I've just got the rest of the antenna to go. But it's not too much shorter than the king size bed as I thought it was going to be. So I'm hoping once I've put some purple on the bottom and on the top, that will give it some more length, and then the border will make it fit sort of more to the edge than it is at the moment. My only slight concern at the moment with putting the purple on the bottom is that it's going to be upside down. The stitches will be upside down, but I don't think anyone's really going to notice except me, or if they're also a crocheter maybe they'll notice, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I might put it on and then see how I feel about it, but that will probably be in about another week's time, because yeah, every row takes about 20 minutes, so it's finding an hour and 40 minutes a day is quite tough. I mean, 2 days this week I didn't manage it, which is why I'm not as far as I'd hoped I would be, but we will carry on and I will probably talk to you in a week. I'm not finished this row yet, but look how cute that heart is turning out. I absolutely love it. I've got this much purple left. I think it will be enough to finish this row, but it's not going to be enough to finish the next row, so I'm going to have to dig another ball out. When I first ordered the yarn for this, so I ordered 9 balls, which was like a little bit more than what the pattern recommended, and then I got about halfway through the pattern and I'd only used 2 balls, and I thought, oh my god, what am I going to do with all of this extra purple yarn? But now that I'm further ahead in the pattern, and because I guess all of this section used a lot more than the bottom section did, I have used a bit more. I think I've used between 4 and 6 now anyway, and then obviously when I do the extra purple at the top and the bottom, hopefully I won't have too much extra, not wasted, because I will use it at some point, she says. And then I'm going to show you my ridiculously large yarn stack. all of these are completely jammed in. If I pull a box out, the whole, like everything will fall out. And then in some of the boxes I've even got yarn shoved down the back in there, and I've got whips everywhere with also loads of yarn in. So yeah, I mean, the purple will definitely get used at some point, but this whole box is basically purple and pink. So I've finished all 227 rows of the blanket. I'm definitely going to need to add some at the top and the bottom to make up some length, because there's quite a lot of space from the foot of the bed, from the top of the blanket to the top of the bed. The sides I think are going to be fine with just a border. It doesn't matter too much how wide it is. I don't think we're both going to be using it at the same time anyway. Yeah, I'm hoping maybe 6 or 7 rows at the top and the bottom each, plus the border should be fine. And if you can see here, that is how much I overestimated how much yarn I would need. So I'm going to have plenty to do the extra rows and the border as well. I'm not going to run out, and then I should have some left over to go in my stand. I'm going to work on the extra rows, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like. So here I am with the border. On the back side you can see where I've, I think it was slip stitches now, I can't even remember. And then you have to crochet into those to make your double crochet border section. So this side I've already done the double crochet bit, and then all of those tiny little ends that you can see are going to be encased once I do the other side, and then single crochet along the top. So this side is the top or the bottom, so it doesn't have all of those extra little bits, so it'll be a lot easier to work with. So here is the finished blanket. I decided to do 6 rows at the top and the bottom, and the bottom I was worried about because these stitches are technically upside down, but I don't think you can really notice too much. And then I just did a simple border, so I did an enclosed border in the black in double crochet, and then I just did a single crochet border around that just to close it off. And I did plan to do sort of all of the colours of the blanket around the edge, but when I tried to do it, it just I didn't like how it was looking, so I ripped it out, and this is what I decided to go with, and I think it just encases it quite nicely without being too busy. And then I'll just show you the back. So this is the back, and I really love how it's inverted. I know we probably won't use it this way around, but I just think it's really pretty. So on this side, I crocheted over the edges from a point. Obviously you can see this is where I started, and I wasn't crocheting over them, and then I decided to start crocheting over them up here, so I've got a lot less to sew in. This side, because you're working this way, I could only crochet over a couple of stitches, and I'll just have to weave them back in. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was, so when I first, this is the first time I've done mosaic crochet, and you have to carry the colour that you're not using along the back of the work, and you end up with kind of these loops. And when I got to well, probably about here actually, you can see I started crocheting over the loops instead. There's a few bits where I kind of forgot because I wasn't used to it, but it just, yeah, so here, so you can see I kind of forgot to do it a few rows here and then went back to it. But overall, I think I really love it. So I'm going to just sew in all of these little ends. It shouldn't take me too long because there's not as many as I was expecting, and then I will show you the final blanket. So after all of that procrastinating, these were the only ends that I had left. I think it was only about 130. What a waste of time. So a quick look at the front. Excuse the stains, it has been in use. And a look at the back, and it's got no ends, and I love how it turned out. I love how it's almost inverted. I do still wish I'd crocheted over those little loops I was talking about before, because this one has managed to pull itself loose, and no matter how much I tug at the sides, it won't go back in. But it's still a blanket, it's still usable. So before I show you the final product, just a bit of continuity, I guess. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I did start this in September and have now finished it at the end of February. It's been nearly 6 months and I have lost a fair bit of weight, so if I look different at different points in the video, that's why. So here is the blanket. Obviously I have shown you before, but now that the ends are sewn in, it seems like it's really a bit more final. And if you would like to get your hands on this pattern, the designer is Nerd Princess Designs. She has not just this one, she's got loads of really fantastic ones, and she really does make sure that she gets a decent amount of testers to actually make and complete the project, so that she knows if there's any errors. If there are, she fixes them straight away. So yeah, you know that this pattern has been tested by several people just to make sure that there's no errors anywhere. You know that it's a good pattern. It's definitely worth the money. So yeah, I'll link her details in the description box, so if you would like to get your own copy, or if you want to have a look at some of her other things, honestly there are some amazing projects on there. So yeah, give her a look, give her a like, and if you like this video, do the same for me. Thanks.